So how do these, I mean, what do these good and bad experiences, look like? And, I guess overall, if you kind of look across the research, does it suggest that, stars are good for organizations? Organizations should be trying to cultivate, stars, or maybe should be a little bit more cautious in terms of, how they try to nurture stars within an organization?
I think both of those are true. I think one way to think about it is that because of this influence, everything has the potential to be magnified with stars. So on the positive side, you have stars who are these sort of resident experts that have a good deal of visibility. So they have the potential to create value by sharing knowledge, by being role models and mentors for their peers, and attracting visibility to the work that their team's doing, which is great. And at the same time, on the negative side, we see a pattern, an unfortunate pattern, that actually comes from these positive influences where organizations tend to become increasingly dependent on stars over time, and in some cases over-dependent. So we see a situation where organizations, invest in recruiting or developing a star, and then they invest huge sums of resources to support the star's work, which in itself is rational, right? Stars are proven performers, so you're likely to get a good return on investment. The problem is when this investment comes at the expense of the organization's other employees, their other projects, their other capabilities. So essentially what you see then is other employees sort of being brought over to support the work of the star, who then begin to feel like they're losing opportunities to choose the work that they're involved with, to develop their own skill sets. They start to feel undervalued. We lose capabilities within the organization in other areas because everything's being diverted to the star. So this is actually really risky for organizations. So as we increase investment in the STARS projects and divert resources and attention and rewards away from other capabilities, other projects, other employees, we essentially run the risk of this overdependence. Now, this gets back to when I said stars have the potential to have positive and negative effects on their employees. Of course, it's not a star's fault if they're getting all the resources and other employees are resentful. But what can also happen is because the star becomes so influential, because they're sort of beginning to control all the work that's being done in the organization, sometimes they get undue influence and undue power. So you have managers who then don't really know what to do if they see that a star is mistreating other employees or cutting corners or not following rules, because they're now so dependent on the star they can't afford to lose the star, and at the same time that's not really the example you want to set for other employees.